Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting episode of the Aatif Nawaz Show. It's your show, it's my show, it's our show, it's mostly my show, let's be honest. It's called the Aatif Nawaz Show and I'm Aatif Nawaz. But still, you're here and we're here and we've got a very exciting guest for you to meet today. Who is it? Who is it? I'm going to tell you in a minute. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I have some news. I have some news for you all. There's a big show coming up. It's a big show coming up. It's a comedy show. It's at the Leicester Square Theatre. It's on the 28th of January. And do you know who's performing? Do you know whose show it is? Do you know who's going to be the comic at the show at the Leicester Square Theatre on the 28th of January, which is a Tuesday night, by the way? Do you know who it's going to be? It's going to be me. Yes, it's going to be me. My first solo 60-minute comedy show will be at the Leicester Square Theatre on the 28th of January. It's a Tuesday night. Tickets are a tenner. Please come. It'll be good fun. The show is called Talk Roti to Me. Yes, that's right. I went there. It's called Talk Roti to Me. Right? It's an Aatif Nawaz show. Come and see me do a 60-minute stand-up comedy show. It'll be a barrel of laughs. And if nothing else, it's a nice venue. You know, it's the Leicester Square Theatre. It's pretty cool. It's got a nice history behind it. You can Wikipedia if you like. There's a lot there. But it'll be really nice to see you there. I've got some really fun stuff that I've been working on, which I'm looking forward to sharing with you. So if you're around, it'll be a pleasure to see you. Please mark the date in your calendar and we'll have some fun. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's a big time for technology at the moment. The PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One are both almost upon us, right? In fact, they are upon us now. They're out there and there's a big war happening at the moment. Which one are you going to go with? Is it going to be the Xbox One? Is it going to be the PS4? Xbox One, PS4, Xbox One, PS4? Or there is a third contender in all this, the Wii U. Okay, the Wii U is out there as well for those of us that like to play Mario games and things like that, and there are a few of us, let's face it. But it is an exciting time to be a console gaming fan. It's about making that choice again, all over again. Is it going to be Blu-ray? Is it going to be HD DVD? Is it going to be VHS? Is it going to be Betamax? Right? Is it going to be the PS4 or the Xbox One? I'll leave it to you to decide where that is going to go. So, boys and girls, I had a very strange call from a friend of mine the other day, okay? He called me and he said to me, Aatif, you know what? I really feel like going to watch the Hunger Games movie. And I said, okay, fine. That's fine. Go watch the Hunger Games movie. He said, yeah, but you know what? I'm trying to save money at the moment, so maybe I should wait for it to come on Sky or on video or something. I said, okay, fair enough. Why don't you just do that then? No, but you know what? I really want to watch the Hunger Games movie. You know, it's out there and, you know, I've wanted to watch it and I read the books and everything. I said, okay, fine, then go watch the movie. Yeah, just if you want to watch it, go watch it. Yeah, but the thing is, yeah, I mean, like, my other friends just want to go watch something else, so we could watch that instead. Then go watch that then. Why are we still talking about this? Why don't you just make a decision? Why do you do this? What do you want from me? What am I going to help you achieve in this matter? If you want to watch the movie, go watch the movie, dude. If you don't want to watch it, or if you're going to wait for it on DVD or whatever it is, wait for it on DVD or whatever it is. Just make a decision and stop wasting my time with this incessant nonsense. Well, that's enough of my ramblings, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's get to our show and get to our interview. It's a cracker this week, so tune in and see what happens. Joining me this week, ladies and gentlemen, is an absolute treat for all of you. We're going to be speaking to Mr. Zaheer Durrani. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hi.
Yes, it's been very well, thank you. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
My pleasure. Obviously, we've got the mountaineer and architect extraordinaire here with us today. And you've taken time out from climbing all these mountains all over the world that you've been doing recently.
And work.
And work, of course. Yeah. Of course, we can't forget about work. So tell me, recently you were climbing the Himalayan region?
A couple of years ago, yes. We went to the Everest region and we spent 3 weeks. We climbed a 6,000 meter peak and we did it in the classical way because you have a little town in the middle of nowhere, Lukla, where you fly from Kathmandu. There are no roads to Lukla.
Okay.
However, when we got there, there were no flights to Lukla.
Did you walk?
And then we walked. So the 45 minutes
Wow, I was
flight,
joking. You actually walked?
We walked.
Oh my God. How far is that?
So it's a 45 minutes flight. It took us 6 days walking to Lukla.
6 days walking?
Yes, camping.
I don't like
along
walking
the
6 minutes to this from the tube station to my house, and you walk 6 miles. So what was the distance?
Oh, It was a long walk. That's all I can
imagine.
say.
If it was
Yes.
6 days, I can only imagine. Fantastic. And you've got a family and everything, right? How do they feel about you just running away for 3 weeks at a time to go climbing
It's
mountains?
not easy. A lot of negotiations going in the background to get away.
That's fantastic. Okay, so tell me, Zaheer, tell me, right? You're an architect, right?
Yes.
Were you an architect first or a mountaineer first?
I was an architect first. Yes.
Okay.
I grew up in a town in Pakistan, Quetta, where we have hills and used to go in the hills walking, but never took mountaineering as serious as I do now, if I can say that.
Well, I'm sure you can if you take 3 weeks to mountain, walk 6 days in a row just to climb mountains. That's quite exceptional. How did you get into mountaineering?
So I was interested in outdoors and getting out of the city. London is one of those places. It's quite tiring. The routine and the stress and the long hours that we work as architects. So I was just finding escape, and it was an ideal opportunity to get away over weekends and.
Wow,
yes.
I mean that's a heck of an escape, really. Some people just like to go bowling or go to the beach or just go and do something else to escape. Go to an art gallery, something like that. You like climbing mountains.
Yes, it's a different type of escape. It's for me when I'm climbing, rock climbing, for instance, it's like you have to cut off from everything that you are normally. It's that background thinking that's completely frozen, and all you can think
literally,
of.
I imagine with the cold, you're probably freezing. So, sorry, you were saying.
Yeah, it is the fear factor and the physical sort of effort that goes into it. So you're fully involved with the activity that you're doing, and that gives a nice break. So even if I go away for a weekend to somewhere in UK, it's quite refreshing coming back on Sunday evening, and Monday you're back.
Wow, just go climb a mountain for the weekend, as you do. Absolutely. Have you ever been to? So my favourite mountain I've not climbed many mountains, I must say, but I have visited Mount Snowdon in Snowdonia in Wales. Have you been to that one?
Yes, that was my first climb. When I joined the club, it is the London Mountaineering Club, which is based in London, and it's one of the biggest and most active club in London. And they have a club hut in Snowdonia, not very far from Snowdon, actually Snowdon Mountain. And so my first climb was Snowdon, because I went to the club hut, and then the tourist path that takes you, it's a long walk that takes you to the summit, and you have a cafe there. You can get a hot drink at the end of the climb as a reward.
Of course, and you deserve that reward. I'm very, very much so. Then tell me, so you said you're part of the London Mountaineering Club, right?
Yes.
How does one get into mountaineering? So say tomorrow I decide, you know what, I feel like climbing some mountains. I feel like doing it, right? How do I do it? If it's me, what would you say to me? Like this?
Yeah, I would say just join the club. It's quite a friendly, inviting club. You come along on one of the meets. Our meet is when people get together and leave on Friday evening and go to a mountain or hills or rock climbing, and spend the weekend either camping or staying in a bunkhouse or a club hut. And you're back on Sunday evening after a big adventure. You feel like a Superman.
Wow, fantastic.
On Monday when you work back to your normal working life.
How do you do that? How do you transition back from? Well, I guess being an architect is quite exciting as well. Alongside. So if you're going to go from like this exciting activity on the weekend and you're back in designing buildings and what have you.
It's not as exciting, I have to say. But yes, it is quite a transition. Sometimes even there was a time when I was in Scotland and I took a night train. First thing in the morning, we were back in office, and the day before I was ice climbing with ice axes and crampons and quite exposed.
What's an ice axis?
It's like an axe that stops you from falling or sliding in a...
So this is an exceptionally dangerous thing to do, right, mountaineering?
Well, it's said that it's as dangerous as you make it.
Oh, okay, that makes sense, right? Okay, fair. So if you don't go with your ice axe up an icy mountain, you're in trouble. Fair enough.
You're in serious
but even
trouble,
so,
yeah.
even if you take all the precautions, I mean, it can be
yes,
quite...
you need training. So if you are a beginner, you start with something easy stuff like sort of indoor climbing is a good way to get to know rock climbing, and outdoor hill walking on easy ground before you get into walking on ice and snow. is a good way to get involved.
Oh, fantastic. Well, this is really exciting. We're here, ladies and gentlemen, talking to Mr. Zaheer Durrani. We're talking about mountaineering, a little bit about architecture. We'll come back to this in a little bit more detail, but let's give you a little taste of what Mr. Zaheer gets up to in his spare time, on his weekends. Wow, that is a magnificent montage of training. I'm really, really impressed here. We're talking right now, of course, with Zaheer Durrani, the mountaineer, the architect. No end to your talents, and I understand you find it very difficult to sit still for a long time. So it's a pleasure. I really appreciate you staying still there for as long as you have. Zaheer, tell me, you're talking. We saw this stuff in training, that you're doing, and you do underwater training as well.
Not so much underwater. I mean, fear. I still have fear of depths, not so much of fear of heights.
Wow.
But there is something called deep water soloing, where you're climbing on sea cliffs, and then you just jump back into the water at the end of the climb, and you swim back. So that's something I've recently tried in Spain, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, because you can always come off the climb. There's a nice warm water behind you. And
it is warm. It's warm water.
It was warm.
So it's a controlled environment, that?
No, it's outdoors.
It's outdoors.
But it was a sort of nice warm day.
Wow.
So, yeah, the water was gentle.
I can imagine. So tell me, what's been your favorite climb so far of all the climbs you've done?
It's difficult. It's like an artist. Like mountaineers are a little bit like an artist. It's difficult to talk about your own passion because it's so personal. There's no competition. The only competition is with your own self. And if you look at the numbers, the highest mountain, the longest I have done, that's probably not the most enjoyable expedition.
Which was the tallest one?
The tallest one I have done is the Labuj East. It's a 6,000 meter peak in Nepal.
Wow.
It's in Everest region, and you get a great view of Everest in the background. And the day we did that climb, it took us 3 weeks in total, including a week to Lukla, and then another couple of weeks to do the climb. So we were walking every day, almost 6-8 hours of walking at high altitude.
What do you pack in your bag, like when you take this stuff? Because you're going to be on the road for a long time, as you say, and you're walking 6-8 hours. What's in your bag?
Luckily on that trip, we had porters and cooks, and we had the whole support team.
Wow, you had a whole support. I was going to say it's like a
Yes.
5-star climbing trip now, isn't it?
It was.
Climb with
it was
luxury.
5-star in many ways. Yes, I mean that's you don't get that luxury when you're in climbing alpine routes in French Alps or elsewhere. But there we had the whole team with us, so we were just had our day pack. But if you imagine, the oxygen level drops as you go up, as you go higher. So every step is an effort.
I can imagine.
And at 6,000 meters, the oxygen level was half what we have here at this level. So you breathe 2 breaths and 1 step, and it's 2 breaths and 1 step, and it's sort of very slow progress. You run out of, you know.
I can only imagine. So you have to go through breathing exercises and everything to prepare, I guess.
Yes, and you do it gradually because your body takes a bit of time to climatize with the conditions, low temperatures, low oxygen.
So
and
I guess you build up to the really tall mountains, then don't you? Do the smaller ones first, and maybe some indoor rock climbing, that kind of thing.
Yes, I mean the ideal start is indoor climbing, and then outdoors you do your altitude slowly, gradually, a bit of, you know, with a lot of patience required for mountaineering.
I can only imagine, right? Do you listen to music while you do it? You put some headphones in, or are you just focused on what you're doing?
Oh no, I just enjoy the scenery, the sounds, and the air is different.
Do you not get like if you're just on top of a mountain, right? Like, or halfway up a mountain, and it's really, you just look down for a second and see how high you are up. Does it never hit you like, oh my God, this is quite scary?
It does happen, yes. I don't tend to look back that much until I get to somewhere safe, because yes, you get the vertigo. You're looking down and suddenly you have this, you know, sheer drop.
I can only imagine. That must be so. So tell me, Zaheer, right? You're climbing mountains, you're going around the world, right? And you're part of this club, and it's a really exciting pastime, right? How do you kind of relax, like when you're spending time with your family, right? And you're away from the mountains. What are you doing? How do you calm down?
I think climbing is quite relaxing for me.
Really?
That's probably.
It doesn't sound relaxing at all. You're like, you know, doing exercise. You've got ice hammers and all sorts of things, and you've got like, you know, well, sometimes you have a 5-star catering team with you as well. But you know, most of the time it sounds quite intense and physically demanding.
It is.
How do you relax?
Yeah, I think it's extreme for me because my work is quite mentally demanding, and then this activity is all physical. So it's a nice balance, and I feel quite relaxed at the end of a climb, and you know, come back with recharged batteries.
Wow. And did your family ever kind of tease you about this, or like say, you know, what are you doing?
I mean, I have young children. I have a boy 8 years old and a girl 7 years old, and they have climbed Snowdon this year.
So your kids are into climbing as well now. Wow.
Well, I'm taking them with me on trips, and yes, they enjoy it. Yeah.
They like the mountaineering already.
They love it, and they're fearless. Especially my boy, son is just fearless. He you know, you have to keep a tab.
At 8 years of age, and he's just climbing up these mountains, like oh, that's fantastic. That's really. So your family's into the mountain climbing as well, and you know, you've got your kids are getting into it as well, and the architecture. So tell me, like, as you say it's a different kind. It's mentally demanding, right? It's a different kind of. It's something to encounter, right? So how do you do that? How do you moderate the world of architecture and the world of mountaineering?
I find, in a way, architecture, the way I define it, is problem solving. So a client comes with us, and there's a problem in terms of there's a project, and then you have the constraints of the requirements, the site, and regulations, and so on. And then we have to come up with innovative solutions for the problem.
And architecture obviously is
architecture
getting more and more.
is about problem solving,
and also, you know, the innovation. So I mean, you see these magnificent buildings around the world now, not just in the Middle East obviously, but in Europe and in the UK as well. You know, I walked past the Shard the other day, which is, you know, I mean, a lot of people have opinions about it, but it is something breathtaking to behold when you're near it.
It's one of the it's very difficult to design a tall building, and Renzo Piano is the architect for Shard, has done a brilliant job. That's my opinion.
What's your favorite building? What's the best thing that you've worked on?
What's the best project you have worked on? There was a house we did in North Barnet, and it was a complete demolition of the existing house. It took us 5 years of planning battle to get approval for the house. It was built in the end. It was a luxury house, beautifully minimalist design with a lot of air, light coming in, and we thoroughly enjoyed.
Did you want to stay there afterwards, like after you'd made it?
If I could afford it.
That's fantastic. Well, we're here in conversation with Zaheer Durrani, ladies and gentlemen, the mountaineer, the architect extraordinary. He's building houses, he's teaching his kids how to climb, he's doing all sorts of things. Now it's time to find out what you guys think this week. We're going to put it out to the people. Let's hear what you think.
Here, we're here. Longer.
Shorter. Yeah.
Shorter.
Long hair.
Long hair.
Of course.
It depends. I think both can be quite good and useful. Yeah.
As you see, with long hair. Boys short hair, girls long hair.
Like me. Like me.
Short hair.
Depends on if it's a boy or a girl, but yeah, short I think.
Depends if it's a woman, long hair.
Short.
Girl with long, boys with short.
Wow, you guys are absolutely insane. I love hearing this stuff every week, week in, week out. We are, of course, still in conversation with Mr. Zaheer Durrani, okay? I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot about mountaineering and how people get involved. So tell me, how did you kind of build towards mountaineering while you were still in Pakistan, in Quetta?
We used to go outdoors in the hills, and Quetta is a valley surrounded by barren hills. So it was a pastime, just picnicking and going in the spare time, just playing with rocks, but nothing as sophisticated as the climbing is seen here now.
Are Pakistanis in that region quite keen on mountain climbing?
In that region, yes. But I have to say here in UK, this is something that I promote various talks, and when I talk to people, our club has like over 400 members, and I'm probably the only one originally from Pakistan, and it's a shame that there are very few people from Pakistan or India, that region, you see in the hills or in the indoor climbing walls.
Why is that? Is it because there's so much cricket on TV and they'd rather watch that?
Yes, well, they have their championship on PlayStation 2.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So why, do you think it's a cultural thing that Pakistanis or Asians, or South Asians we should say, they don't like, they're not as inclined, if you'll pardon the pun, towards mountain climbing? It's
a mixture of a lot of things. There are the role models that you don't see here in UK, where people can look up and follow. And also people who have, a lot of people from Pakistan who are based in UK, they came from Punjab or other areas which are not mountainous, and it's so very few people from Quetta, for instance, are here. And also it's just being a bit more adventurous and getting out and experience something which is which is not competitive. You don't see it in school. So yes, it's having that sort of sense of adventure that probably brings you in.
I can imagine. Okay, and then so culturally, as you say, so are people, because maybe they don't exposed to that kind of terrain, or certainly Pakistanis in the UK, they tend to come from other areas. With that, you know, I imagine there's not many people from Quetta in London or Manchester or what have you, so they don't follow that. And as you say, there's not many people that they can look to as role models or as people who've done this before for them to emulate, and it's a healthy thing, isn't it? It's a very
it is amazing. Yes, I mean we even have in our club, we have a 80-year-old rock climber.
Oh wow!
And you know, you see that guy climbing. It's just amazing. You know, it's for your fitness and physical, mental, quite refreshing. And I encourage people when I talk to people that come along and take them to climbing wall. That's a good start. It's a safe activity to get involved, and yes. I've
done one of these climbs myself, actually. You know, on an indoor mountain climbing thing in my local leisure centre, okay? Because they've got this new mountain wall in, and I really wanted to try it. It wasn't very tall, I have to say, but it was really tricky because I kept slipping. I don't know if my shoes were on. Kept slipping off those little things, and they're built for footsteps as well, you know, which is the really embarrassing thing. But I kept slipping off there, and I just kept dropping. You know, they attach this harness to you, so you're never really going to fall. but I guess you don't have that safety net when you're climbing a real mountain, do you?
No, we have the harness and the rope. Yes, on rock climbing we'll have all the gear for safety. But it's building up the confidence, and then you're climbing harder routes and just pushing the boundaries always.
Wow, I mean that's it's incredible really to think about. And physically, right? Does it take its toll? Do you have to carb load before you do it? Do you have to have loads of carbohydrates, or
yes,
or do you just eat what you want?
Yes, I mean, I'm pretty light, so I just eat everything. But yes, preloading with carbs is always good, and
loads of water,
yeah.
I guess.
A lot of water, yes. I'll just tell you a story from recent climb we did in Spain, and you need to carry at least a couple of liters of liquid with you on a long climb. And we were doing a long climb, like it was like 8-10 hours of rock climbing. So at the bottom of the climb, I asked my climbing partner how much water you're carrying, and she brought up this tiny little bottle of water.
Oh my god.
And she didn't have
like a little bottle of Evian or something, or whatever.
Even smaller than that.
Wow, okay.
And I just couldn't believe myself, and then it was this balancing decision making whether we should go back or continue. We continued and we had a great day, but it was sort of rationing our food and water that we had between us. We had a great day, and it was a hot summer day in Spain. But we managed it. It was a great, long, big mountain day.
I can imagine. What kind of food do you take with you when you go on a mountain trip? Just out of interest.
Oh.
Is it keema or like dal or any curries like that, or is it
laddu?
Just laddu. Yeah, that's what I fancy. I'm halfway up a mountain. Really fancy a laddu, right? You know what I mean? Just look off the cliff and be like, yeah. No, what do you take with you?
Just some nuts and bars, and a lot of liquid, sort of protein and carbs, sort of light. Yes.
Are power drinks recommended? Do people recommend power drinks with electrolytes, or is water the way to go for you?
No, electrolytes are good, yes, especially if you're sweating a lot. So we would have tablets of electrolyte you just throw into the water, and that just keeps it going.
Wow. Okay. So tell me, Zaheer, okay, in all your time mountaineering, okay, what's the funniest thing that's ever happened to you climbing a mountain, aside from somebody turning up with like a tiny bottle of water?
Actually, that was the funniest that I can think of.
I can imagine, but it must have been quite worrying. So what did you share your water? Did you?
Yes, we have a couple of other people, so we shared the water and food as well. So it was quite a sort of challenge.
I can imagine. And how do you eat on a mountain? Do you have to find like a flat space to stand on, or while you're hanging you just kind of so? Did you watch TV this week while you're how did you do it?
It depends on the climbs. Normally, if it's a big mountain day, you are climbing on various ledges. So there's a small ledge, and you finish your climb there. And you'll have time. You're carrying your rucksack. You could get your lunch out and have but no fried samosas or koras. No.
Nothing like that. Nothing with heavy fat. So what kind of things? You mean power bars, things with carbs, that kind of thing?
Yeah, nuts are good.
Nuts are good.
Source of protein. So,
I'll keep that in mind, right? Remember that, people. If you're climbing mountains, you gotta have some nuts, and you gotta have a bottle of water at least this big, right? No, probably bigger than that. Probably bigger than that. Probably bigger than that. This is really fun. We're having a really fun conversation. You're very cagey about your personal details, I've got to say so here. We're not finding out enough about you, apart from that you like to climb mountains and you know how to do it. So we're gonna find out more about you, right, in this round, which we like to call the Dangerous Sheep round, or 10 Things I Don't Know About You. Okay, are you ready for this here?
Yeah, exactly.
Ready for this? It is exciting. It's the sheep round. Okay, you ready?
Okay, yeah.
Fantastic. Can I have the sheep, please? There we go. We've got the sheep. Right. Where would you go for your dream holiday?
Bahamas.
The Bahamas. That's a good one, actually. Your favorite place to go shopping?
Westfield.
Westfield. There's no mountains in Westfield, I'll tell you that. Okay. Do you like people with long hair or people with short hair?
Oh, long hair.
Long hair is the way to go. What's your favorite thing to eat?
Biryani.
Biryani. Oh yeah, my wife likes biryani as well, actually. Okay. Your favorite sport?
Climbing.
Climbing, yes, of course, because it is a sport. Your favorite movie?
Devdas.
Your favorite song?
Dil Chahta Hai.
Dil Chahta Hai, from Dil Chahta Hai, not a bad song at all. Train or plane?
Oh, train.
Train all the way. You get to see all those wonderful mountains along the side. Are you a PC person or a Mac person?
Oh, PC.
PC person. Bill Gates will love it. And your favorite cartoon?
Popeye the Sailor.
Popeye the Sailor Man. We like Popeye the Sailor Man. That's it. Which brings us to the end of the Fabulous Sheep Round. How do you feel?
great.
You
Yeah.
feel good? Fantastic, fantastic. We'll be back with you in a second, ladies and gentlemen. That was the Sheep Round, or 10 Things I Don't Know About You. Well, that was an absolutely enthralling round, and it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you, Zaheer. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you.
Hey, no, it's a pleasure. I want you to tell me, do you have any messages for potential mountaineers or future or budding mountaineers out there?
Yes, I'll just quote George Mallory, who was the great mountaineer from 1920s, who was the first, he attempted Everest, and he said that there's no dream that must not be dared. So if you're adventurous, if you want to get involved, then there are all sorts of opportunities there to come along and enjoy the activity.
That's fantastic. I mean, that's just beautiful, and it's my dream really to be hanging off a mountain eating a samosa now that we've had that conversation. So one day I'll do that. I'll send you the pictures here. Thank you so much again for coming on the show, Zaheer. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you. It's been really educational. That's it for this week, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next week at the same time, same place, with more fun stories and a fun guest for you to speak to as well. So until then, thank you very much, and Allah Hafiz.